Friends, thanks for joining me today on another process video. This one's going to be a quick one. I was actually quite surprised after I got done speeding it up 4 times like I normally do that I got it under 8 minutes. I didn't cut out anything. I actually saved every bit of it so you could see where I start off in one direction and the following day I totally switched gears and changed it up. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the paper that I picked. The cardstock that you see right there, actually the craft cardstock that you see, it is, I think it's by Pebbles. It's a 4th of July paper, and it is the only paper that I have in my entire collection. I don't own any other piece, but I like the back side of it that you see right there because it just reads like a typical, plain craft paper. I was surprised though on how well the light picked up the subtle banners that are actually in it because you can't really see it in person. So when I looked through my camera to make sure that I was in frame, I was actually, like I said, surprised that I could see the banners so well. So then I grabbed some paper from My Mind's Eye. It's the Boy Crazy. And I'm just grabbing a couple of the papers that I wanted to use. And those are the 2 photos I'm going to use of my son playing in the back of my father's truck. That was something he loved to do, and I forgot about that story. And see, this is why I document and I scrapbook. Because memories seem to fade, right? And the only way to keep those memories alive in our brains is, or in our minds or memory, is to record them, to document them. And when I was looking through trying to figure out what photos I wanted to use, I come across these photos and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot that that's what I used to do. Okay, so moving on though, back to the layout, I then grabbed some cardstock, and it's more like a neutral beige. I really like it. I actually need a lot more of it because as far as matting up my photos, I only have just white, so I have very few of that beige paper. But I really like using it a lot of times. So then I backed it up again with some red cardstock, and then the papers that you see that I picked, I really wanted to go for cars, like vehicles. I tried to look to see if I had any trucks in my stash, and surprisingly, after stockpiling for a long time, I don't own one single thing that has a truck on it. So I was a little bummed about that. So I picked the cars, and I thought, okay, I'm liking how this is looking so far. It's a very basic design, but there's nothing wrong with basic. I mean, it's one of my go-tos. I really liked having something that I can always fall back on. But now this is the next day, and I went to work and I thought to myself, I want to do something different versus one of my go-to designs. That's great that I have that, but again, I want to do something different. So I thought about like a grid design, and instead of having photos, having stars. And so I cut up stars. Now they're not super big. I thought about, like I said, having it as a grid, but I realized most of them were going to be covered up, and really you're only going to see one row. So then I thought, you know what? Let me kind of switch it up a little bit and try to put them in like a diagonal type design, and I'm really liking this a lot better. Now, as you noticed earlier, I did cover up my photos, and that is because I'm realizing that I have not scrapbooked, I don't think in a while, 2 true 4x6s, and I'm just not used to it. I usually cut them down, or I'll only have one 4x6 on a layout, and I didn't realize just how much real estate it really takes up on a 12x12 layout. So I had to kind of rethink, like, how am I going to do this? Where am I going to put embellishments? Am I going to have enough room? And that's when I kind of, again, decided not to do the grid design that I was going to do with the stars. Now, I felt like the stars was lacking a little bit of something, and so, again, one of my go-tos, which there's nothing wrong with go-tos. I love having some ones where I could just, you know what? This is my comfort zone. I like this. I like the style of it. I'm going to continue doing it, and that is, I love distressing the edges. I love, well, not distressing. Back in the day, they used to say it was distressing, but inking the edges. I love that look, and it just really kind of makes the stars pop and stand out versus kind of getting lost on a layout. And so what I decided to do was have at least one of them fully backed with some foam adhesive, so that way it's lifted and it's popped, and then all the rest are not. Now, it's funny, this took me forever. I actually had to stop the camera because I got the stars on the top perfect, but to try to get them in that exact like lineup for the bottom did not work out. And I mean, I tried everything. I even tried to like place them exactly on top of the stars and switch around. It didn't work, but that's okay. I end up liking how it turns out anyways, even though it does not match. Now here's my title. I just used some October Afternoon tile stickers, and then I also mixed it up with some epoxy. Yeah, I think it's called epoxy stickers by, I think, American Craft, and I think it was for like a baby collection. And the title is going to be A Boy Who Loves His Papa's Truck. So I thought about having it up on the top so that way I could have some journaling on the bottom, and then I really just felt like it was too, like I'm trying to force everything and too crowded is the word I'm looking for. I felt like it was too crowded up on the top, and so therefore I decided to place it at the bottom. And I liked how I placed some on the picture and some off of it, because there is a lot of empty space or white space, as you know, some say, on the photo, and so it was a perfect way to kind of cover some of that up. Now I have already stars going on, so I wanted to keep up the theme, but I knew right away that those stars that I've already cut out, because I didn't want them to go to waste, were going to be way too big to try to position around the star title. So I grabbed some wood veneers that were really tiny. I think I got them from Studio Calico, and I just placed those around. Now I had, again, another My Mind's Eye. These are so old, back in the day where they had their, I think they were called label stickers. Yeah, this is from the collectible collection, and there's one that says "You Are So Loved," and I am going to find a place. I already knew where I wanted it. I tried it a couple of different areas, did not like that, and decided to place it right there, which was perfect because, again, I had all that space. So here's my journaling. It's on a October Afternoon label sticker, and there really wasn't too much to say because the title kind of says everything for it, but I did talk about how he felt he would play in there in his papa's truck, and it, you know, it was like his own little playground. So I'm trying different areas of where I wanted to place it. I thought about placing it up on the top, thought about also layering it on top where the stickers are, but then I realized that when I looked at the layout, I tend to look at the picture and look at the journaling and not really look at the title. And then I wanted everything kind of to flow together, so I'm actually going to place it underneath the title, and I like that a lot better. And that's it, guys. I pretty much am done with this layout. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you over here. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any other videos. All right, everybody, have a great night. Bye.